Alright, let's go to Lenegis. Take off. Yes, we shall.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... Well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life.
Is something...
No. I was...
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any... You too have a history with Lenegis. But doesn't that frighten...
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless... But I can't...
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. Come back and speak to...
Okay. Hello, Shion.
We'll be going...
This must feel like a... What was life on Lenegis like back...
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. They called it treatment. But in truth, they were...
You mean...
That's right. All I was to them, day in and day out. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. Some existence, huh? I thought things could... Is it any wonder I lacked? Sure, I survived. And that's when it hit me.
I'm sorry.
No.
You say it's your destiny to die.
Are you crazy?
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. If we're doing this to protect people...
A world free of sacrifice.
Not just me. We're in this to... If we're going to win, everyone has to win. Now I see it. The true nature of...
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end.
You bet we can pull it off.
Yeah, we can do this.
Yes. Oh, them two are talking to each other. Okay.
Hey, Alvin!
Hey,
What's got...
Only that he's afraid of flying.
hey! I just think it's, you know, a little...
It's a starship, dummy. That's what...
Well, maybe you're the...
Guys,
Oh, that's a good point.
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride and...
You okay?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all.
Glad to hear it. That device there,
I was just wondering what it is.
it's a healing pod. It fixed...
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely... Alphen?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? Would that mean...
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said?
Of course. That's why you came with...
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. I'll always remember him fondly. The world's bigger than just Menancia. If I've learned anything on this journey, and the one who brought...
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet.
I know.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little...
Dun, dun, dun.
Is everyone about
Before we do that,
Kisara has a point.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand...
Very well. First and foremost, of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength...
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral art...
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass. Denied the right to descend to Dana, even if... Still. Even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered superior to being a Danon.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right?
Come on, you've seen her skill with Astral.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking.
Jeez.
Wait a second. Are you...
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is as if such simplistic criteria could...
so this red woman,
I would wager so. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being...
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana,
That red woman's got a lot to answer for.
We're about to land.
if there are clues about your thorn...
Do-do-do, 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 do-do, do-do-do, 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 do-do-do.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Precisely.
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renins. The capital city where Shion and Do...
Thinking about what...
For such...
Oh!
Would you two...
So how...
I couldn't...
There's Zoop.
Lenegis. Do, do, do.
What in the world?
This being Renin territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior, too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim. Don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me, the less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Do?
So who's Fari?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem that...
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up.
We need more information.
While we're at it,
And don't forget about finding...
Let's leave the talking to Sheep.
Good idea.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on...
Right. The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if...
What could be so... It's just...
From how it looked.
But why?
Whatever the...
He's right.
this forbid.
You heard him.
So,
What do you...
Well, but then...
Ordinary. Trust me. It makes you...
Sorry.
This place...
Yeah.
Oh dear, whatever did...
You really have...
Would that I have. We have, but I believe...
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I.
As your lord, the Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Strawberry. Ooh, fancy parfait.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale.
Your lord, I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was back in, I witnessed the deaths.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a...
All red, eh? No,
Yeah,
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or...
never mind. Is everything okay?
Oh, yes.
I was hoping to head this way myself.
I suppose I daren't stay here too long, though. I was hoping to avoid it.
You mean you know enough?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how?
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another...
But of course. Please, I thought maybe it was a passageway between...
It's worth investigating. I shall go and assess the situation.
You'd really do that?
Our lot in life is of...
Oh, why yes.
Well, we've canvassed...
No one has a faint...
You'd think that info...
Not to this extent.
Given every...
Yeah.
Everything that happened, nothing happened.
The Sovereign? There is one...
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both.
Without the lords or any... That's a pretty...
The points you make come to think of...
No.
Neither have I. In which...
Hold up.
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the
But what about trade and communication?
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's up. What if something were to happen?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even... But Sovereign is also the title given to the Almighty.
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, as for how Volron factors into all this...
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. Now, 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who all... That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason?
I can't say for sure.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. We never did see Volron's body back. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its...
Wait a second. The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden.
Questions.
If the Forbidden Zone...
Then it's decide.
One of the citizens. Let's go find it.
Yay! We will go find it. What? There was so many times where there wasn't a single cutscene. Now we're getting all of them.
More to the...
What if she's...
It's still...
For all we...
And another one. Wow.
Tell me, and what's... You know, what...
I'm a...
I do. Look in
I would never...
So that...
Now you've got...
If you've...
Hey! I can bear...
I wasn't expect...
With nobody left to run the I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renin...
But Dohalim was a little...
Only current acting lords have power.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be...
I wonder what they'd think if they were... Balsif, Cannabelt, Almadria, and Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know...
Well, yeah, to us Danins, they were just...
I know.
It feels strange.
Yeah.
If you're that curious about them, every lord in their household has their share. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the...
Ah, true, and none of them know what happened in Dana. Which means we can just ask them about the lords. Not tell them, oh, by the way, they're dead.
Yes! Yes!
So he was Balsif's.
Balsa... I've had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
Apparently so. So she's
I guess...
Dohalim's.
He intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
What?
Oh yeah, he's yeah. He was mechan.
Oh. It was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed.
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However...
Oh? Yes, I'm assuming we'll go through there now.
In my mind, while all lords vie
And then we'll
to
most
become the
likely
next
talk to the
sovereign,
person that
they're also
supported
meant to serve as
Almedra
guardians
and
of all of
Valron.
Rena.
It seems like Annabelle all.
So
So had people who cared about her till the
yeah.
very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
This area doesn't look as badly damp.
Pardon me.
Almedra. So she was Almedra's. Okie dokie.
Her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Had an astral out. Can I go through here before without talking to him? Yeah, I can. Just collect some stuff, just in case there was anything. Yeah, I'm fine with listening out. Oh.
There's something
What is...
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead, in which case the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that...
Yeah, that...
So,
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia.
So then this Han-freaked whatchamacallit.
The last I heard, yes. Though,
You're saying that ever since becoming...
I guess over holocom maybe, but
now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis.
And that never...
A new Renaissance... In other words, if that's
true, but
You and me both.
with any luck,
No use standing...
I'll complete this quest beforehand, just in case I do get forced away. So this one's gotta be Valron's.
Ridiculous. Okay. Ah!
So he's never heard
it
of
seems
it.
like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about
Well, yeah, I
Valron
was about to
either.
say, Valron killed
I remember
the
being
other
quite
lord.
surprised when the Lord of Ganath Haros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you
Yeah.
have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary, remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you
Okay.
think about it, the family...
Yeah.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders.
Renans live in a world where strength and but their loyalty to their people is all
that's what makes them the guardian.
right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you.
Guess that makes you an even bigger odd...
So, Alphen,
Yeah. I think Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances.
Yeah, but still.
I know. They did, but at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. So I guess
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters, even if they did terrible things?
Renwell.
Am I wrong?
not at all.
Being a Danan doesn't make you a good person. I think that's something...
Shion and Dohalim...
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make...
I'll do this just so I can get that. Oh, I got SP for Kisara. Oh, and actually no, I do I want that or AG? Actually, you know, I might do that. Right, okay, look at the map, done everything, just need to go forward now.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't I was...
But why are you here? Wait, nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation...
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my...
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to... You're just a cat!
Dohalim, I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me.
Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Jesus, why is everyone so dark? Oh, thank you, Poi. Thank you. It's very nice of you. Nothing down there. Something down here. Thank you for the follow, Poi, as well. Thank you. Alright, saw a merchant up ahead, which means confrontation. Anything down there? No.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnigan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnigan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnigan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnigan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never